All right. I made a video earlier today talking about how African American men have to step up and teach their own brothers how to be a man, that a man takes accountability and responsibility for for his life and for the children that he has created. And some of the ladies left really good comments, like it's the women that are choosing those guys. They're going after the bad boys. And again, it's a generational legacy of neglect where women are choosing bad boys because their daddy was a bad boy. See, we usually go for what we saw modeled growing up. Like it's so subconscious that a man who's kind and attentive, and there are many African American men who are kind, attentive, educated, on their purpose, disciplined, and to take care of their children, but those men won't be attractive to you. That's the problem. So a lot of us have to redo, and this has to do with the guys I talk to who are complaining about women who are gold diggers and cheat on them. You have to rework your brain on what you're attracted to. A lot of us, and that's one thing I've been doing myself, I used to be attracted to emotionally unavailable men because men who had feelings to me seemed like sissies, because my dad didn't show feelings and I was raised that boys shouldn't have feelings. So I've had to rework that to now I'm only going to be attracted to men who show feelings and who show relational interest and availability. And I'll look for that right away now. And if I start feeling attracted to someone and they don't have that, keep your awareness on. I don't even consider them anymore. A lot of us have to rework our comfort zone and our attractions to include a healthier type of person. You know, one thing you might want to do, especially if you like to daydream or fantasize, or even if you have sexual fantasies, start including a healthy type of partner in your sexual fantasies. This is actually something I came up with. Instead of fantasizing sexually about the bad boy, start to fantasize sexually about the good guy who wants to take care of you and adore you and worship you and be a good father and provider. Start fantasizing about those guys, and same guy, you guys do the same with women. Start fantasizing about women who actually care about you and nourishing, because the problem is that this generational legacy goes on and on and on, and it's very sad. And if you hear about narcissists, they were raised by narcissists, and they were raised by narcissists. Children with trauma who were abandoned, okay, or who had alcoholic parents, those parents had alcoholic parents or were abandoned. Children who were sexually abused by their parents, those parents were sexually abused and abused and abused. We have generational cycles of trauma, but the good news is this is the age of the internet, more brain research, more research on trauma. Any one of us can break that cycle. Any one of us can break that cycle of the generational legacy of neglect and abuse, and that is our opportunity now. Of course, I offer coaching, but I don't have any coaching clients, you guys. I just put it on my channel in case anyone wants to work with me. But really, this isn't a sales pitch. You can research trauma online. You can take online courses. You can take parenting courses. Just do this little exercise I recommend it. Think about the kinds of people you go for, and think about the kinds of men who are good fathers and who care about their wives, and start fantasizing about a man who has those qualities, so that becomes familiar, that becomes attractive. Because how can you be attracted to a healthy man, ladies, if you've never seen a healthy man? If the men in your community abandoned women, then you see that's what men do, then that seems normal because that's all you know. And that's called a blind spot. We don't know what we don't know. Start maybe reading books about men who are good fathers. Start hanging out with married couples where you admire who the man is as a father. Look for men who are empathetic, who are actually working on their stuff. You can break the generational legacy of neglect and abuse, and it can start with you. And who is it that said, be the change you want to be? Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, be the change that you want to be in the world. So it can start with you. And especially if you have children, you have got to. I really should make some videos on this active parenting class because, see, when I was a young mom, I used to yell at my kids when they didn't do what I wanted because that's what my mom used to do. And when my kids were toddlers, my oldest two were toddlers, I took the active parenting class, and that changed everything for me. It changed everything. Just learning how to handle these kids and how to respond to them changed everything. I didn't have to yell anymore. I hardly ever yelled after that. And my kids turned out pretty well. So there is information out there. There are courses out there that can teach us how to be better parents. The thing that boggled my mind is I wanted to take the class a second time through the school district my kids were in at the time. They were like 10,000 parents in the school district, and there were only 5 of us in the class. Like, it boggles my mind how few people take advantage even of free parenting classes. But that's how you change the legacy of, that's how you, if you want a child who doesn't have an eating disorder or cutting disorder or an addiction. None of my kids had eating or cutting or addictions. None of them even like to drink that much. Like, my sons even will say, I don't like to drink, Mom, because it interferes with my sleep. My one son paid off his student loans, went through undergrad at UC Santa Barbara, worked through his undergrad, paid off almost all of his loans, so he didn't even get to take advantage of the $20,000 money back. And he did have Pell Grants, I think. But the point I'm making here is that's because I took advantage of learning how to be a parent. That's something that matters to me. I want to be a good mom. I want to be a good wife. I want to be a good girlfriend. And one of these days, some man will come along that I get a chance to be a good girlfriend, because I've been single for 9 years. I haven't met anyone either. But I digress. This video is to say that we can change the cycle of generational abuse. I was a better mom than my mom was, but my mom was pretty good. But I have seen people change. It is possible, and you are responsible for all the actions that you take. I am responsible. We're all responsible, and we're especially responsible when we have children. You just cannot go off and just spread your legs for any guy without protection, and then just let your children drop off, and when the dad is some fucking loser that just ran off. You can do better, and you have to do better. And the change starts with each of us. And this is, hopefully it wasn't too harsh for women, but ladies, you can't just have kids with any old riffraff. You guys can't do that. It's not a good idea.